The headlines tell us Eric Swalwell has finally retreated from the California gubernatorial race, chased by the specter of rape and sexual assault allegations. But the real story isn't his exit. The real story is his entrance. How does a man with a trail of predatory whispers behind him ascend to the halls of the California state legislature with zero scrutiny? In Sacramento, silence isn't just golden, it's actually a requirement for promotion. We see the theater of hypocrisy every single day. Take Congressman Robert Garcia out of Long Beach. That's my congressman, who shouts from the rooftops about the Epstein files and claims to want to pursue every lead against Donald Trump. Meanwhile, ignoring the rampant homelessness, the violent crime, the failing economy, and the inability to do business, whether you're starting one or have already established one, in his own city. Yet he leads the charge against Donald Trump with almost a religious fervor. Yet, when it comes to the California political apparatus, which is rotting from within, Garcia and congressmen and women like him suddenly develop a convenient case of amnesia. They ignore the victims at their own doorstep in an effort to chase headlines thousands of miles away. Look at the protected class. You got dudes in my city, in my state, like Senator Scott Wiener and others who champion quote unquote reform while providing a shield for a culture where predatory behavior is managed but never ever prosecuted. We've seen the names of former San Diego Mayor Bob Filner, Nathan Fletcher, men whose actions were often open secrets until they became politically inconvenient. The Bible, at the book of Isaiah, the 5th chapter, verse 20, it says, "Woe to those who call good evil and who call evil good, who put darkness for light and light for darkness." If this lack of moral courage is allowed to take root nationally, if we allow these people to get into the presidency, we are going to begin to pry open Pandora's box of exploitation. When you refuse to secure the border, creating a vacuum for human trafficking, and refuse to prosecute sexual crimes such as prostitution for fear of political fallout, you aren't just being progressive, you're being complicit. Even at the highest levels, the standard is set by convenience. Do you guys remember Tara Reid? You probably don't even know that name, do you? The woman who accused Joe Biden of raping her? Do you remember when Kamala Harris famously said that she believed Joe Biden's accuser? Well, she believed Tara Reid until Joe Biden offered her the opportunity to run as his vice president. He dangled it out in front of her like a trained seal looking up at a piece of fish. Then all of a sudden, Kamala Harris's belief became a burden, and the survivor was simply discarded and forgotten like an old campaign flyer. Frederick Douglass once said, I love the pure, peaceable, and impartial Christianity of Christ. I therefore hate the corrupt, slave-holding, women-whipping, cradle-plundering, partial, and hypocritical Christianity of this land. My friends, we are at a crossroads, no matter how you want to look at it. If we do not start demanding a standard that transcends party lines, where more people who commit crimes against women are actually held accountable, instead of just when it's politically convenient, we aren't going to be building a society. What we're going to be building is a hunting ground. And our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, and our wives will be the prey. But where do we go from here? I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Does the collapse of the Swalwell campaign signal a genuine shift in accountability? Or is this just a tactical retreat that allows the Democrat Party of California to do damage control? Are they simply calling Swalwell out and asking him to resign until the news cycle resets? Or will there be a full investigation that may implicate other Democrats? Guys, I'm in California. I'm telling you, this state is crawling with predators. I've been saying this since before the Swalwell scandal broke out. The guy not only is a predator and is well known, I would never vote for him, but hundreds of thousands of people did. But he's also a person who allegedly slept with a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. He bang bang Fang Fang and was giving her top secret government information that she was giving back to the Communist Party of China. Why was this guy ever allowed to make it into the California legislature? That's my question. You're telling me that Nancy Pelosi, Robert Garcia, Scott Wiener, all these big-time California politicians didn't ever say, you know what, this guy's dirty as hell. Maybe we shouldn't allow him to sit in the legislature of our state. But the reality is, we have a quiet as kept culture in California politics. It's almost as if they like you with a little bit of dirt on you, so they know you'll never expose the dirt on them. But the bigger question is, what does the fact that someone like Eric Swalwell being able to make it into the California state legislature say about the people, the voters of California, who try to ride this like moral high horse nationally? We could never vote for Trump. He's the Epstein files. But within their own state, there's all types of predatory behavior simply being ignored. What does it say about us? What does it say about Democrat voters all over America who will quietly and conveniently ignore this so they can use it as an excuse to continue to vote for their predatory party come the midterms? At some point, you have to stand on something more than just party loyalty. At some point, you got to stand up for what's right. But let's be honest about the situation. The Democrat voter has been conditioned over time, slowly but surely, to accept any type of disgusting behavior that the Democrat Party exhibits, presents, and defends in the name of being progressive. Right? They're not wicked, evil, and demonic. They're just progressive. Well, you might listen. In my mind, when I hear the word progressive, I think satanic, because progressive is the word that's used to defend all types of disgusting, uh, debased behavior. And who can argue against that? Nobody. Nobody. Whether it's child genital reassignment or drag queen story time, it's all done in the name of being progressive. Whether it's putting young children who haven't even reached puberty on puberty blockers, oh, you gotta accept it because this is being progressive. When does it stop? Where does it end? When do the people who are victims get to have their voice heard? Or do you just continue to conveniently ignore these people because it's cramping your style? Because it's killing the vibe. Ain't that what we say? Oh, it's killing the vibe. Oh, we just want a vibe session. But what happens when the vibe session involves the exploitation of women? And even worse, the exploitation of children? Do you allow it to continue just to keep the party going? Or do you stop it in its tracks so future parties will be safe and inclusive for everybody? It's so funny how these people claim to be the champions of exclusivity and acceptance. But they're only the champions of exclusivity and acceptance if you commit to and agree to never calling them out and exposing the demonic practices of their party. Which side are you going to fall on? Are you going to fall on the side of what's right and call it out no matter who does it? Or are you going to fall on the side of hypocrisy, where it only matters if it's someone with an R by their name? And if someone has a D by their name, you're going to do whatever mental gymnastics is necessary to allow you to walk in the voter booth and pull the lever for them. Just let me know. I truly want to know. I truly would like to know. But guys, this Eric Swalwell situation, it's really disgusting. This guy, man, if you could listen, I'm all for, hey, you need to report this stuff in a timely manner. I am not a believe all women person. I know that women lie just like men lie. People will lie to get a political advantage. I know that. But man, if you could just hear some of these women tell their story, it's almost undeniable at this point. It's almost unquestionable at this point. Uh uh where about this guy. I'm telling you, there is, when the woman talks about what this guy was doing, when the one of the victims talks about what this man did to her, it's really disgusting. It's really disgusting. The one that stuck out to me was the one where the woman said that Eric Swalwell drugged her, invited her to a political event. Um, I think we have the whole thing right here. Invited her to a political event. She was modeling in Beverly Hills at the time, and she was a business owner, and she had interest in joining the political scene of Los Angeles. And Swalwell, like a true predator, he masked himself in a sheep's clothing, right? He made himself out to be someone who was genuinely trying to help this woman, right? And that part, right? Just that part. It reminds me of a scripture in the Bible. And the scripture is at 2 Corinthians 11:14, where it says that the devil, Satan, is constantly not just sometimes. He is constantly disguising himself as an angel of light in an effort to deceive people. And that is exactly what Eric Swalwell was doing. He was disguising himself as someone who wanted to help these women. But as soon as they allowed him to get in their personal confidence, as soon as they were alone with him, guess what? He turned into a ravenous wolf who was willing to do absolutely anything to get what he wanted. Let's tap into this victim's story.
Beverly Hills, let's watch.
In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, and I also owned a fashion software company, I had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially. He offered me connections to further my software company, and I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center in Connecticut.
And see, that's the part where I think this guy's goose is cooked. When all the other stuff you could say, okay, you wrote it in your diary, you told a friend of a friend about it and all that, and you're like, I don't know. But when that woman said that she told her therapist, if that therapist wrote that down and there's records of her telling that person, and she gives them the permission to expose that, I mean, Eric Swalwell's goose is cooked. You can say what you want to. That's one thing to me that really stood out with her story from like other stories that you hear about this type of thing. She told her therapist very soon after it took place. I'm saying this guy is done. That alone is damning. This chick is popped. No way he did it. Are you, man? Whatever. No, but if she told her therapist that she did it, that he did it, like soon after what happened, uh, it's over for this guy. And the really bad thing is that there are several women who have come out. I've counted like 4 women already who have come out against this guy. Trust me, Eric Swalwell is like Nancy Pelosi's protege. So Nancy Pelosi is going to give this guy probably the best advice he can get when it comes to how to handle this situation. And Nancy's advice to Eric 2 weeks ago was drop out. And she probably knew that the storm was coming for this dude. And she's probably aware of what he's done, right? But old Nancy, she's a team player. She told him to get out 2 weeks ago. He wanted to fight it. And now it's looking like, you know what I'm saying, leave while you still got the chance type. But now it's looking like he ain't going to be able to leave. But this is something that has been known in the circles of Sacramento for decades, for over a decade. Swalwell is a predator. And he represents District 14 in California. That's like Castro Valley. It's near Modesto, but I don't think Modesto falls in this district. Liverpool, a bunch of cities you never heard of. Fremont, Haywood, Hayward. That's about, I would say, about 6 hours away from where I am in Southern California in Long Beach. So he's like central coast of California. Like say you're driving up to get to San Francisco, you would go through Swalwell's district.
It had a profound impact on my mental health.
But yeah, Swalwell, bro is absolutely, he's absolutely cooked. He's absolutely cooked. Let me see, is my sound okay? Yeah, he's done. Bro, in my opinion, the way these people try to don't nobody disown you like the Democrat Party. The way they are trying to distance themselves from this guy, his goose is cooked. He's not gonna survive this. He 100% is not gonna make it out of this. He might as well, in my opinion, he might as well start kissing his family goodbye. Because not only is he going to have the people who really care about these women coming after him, he's also going to have, you know, the Democrats who are pissed, who will be pissed off at him if for one reason or another this leads to Republicans taking the governor's race. They will directly blame him for this. If Republicans take the gubernatorial race, they will directly blame Eric Swalwell for that happening. They'll literally pin that on him and solely him. No matter how poorly managed it was or anything. Someone can say this is, I mean, you got, I see Turney type, this is Democrat infighting, bro. Democrats don't fight like this, bro. Democrats do not fight like this. Democrats are the party that's like, look, man, we're all going to go down. If one of us goes down, we're all going to go down. That's how they are. Because if you look at how they vote, there's no dissent within their ranks. Everyone votes the same way on every single issue. Why do you think that is? Because they understand that that's a winning strategy in America. Everyone like understands that. Alex Jones has he's got a video, but look, let me see real quick. Let me make sure. There's a video of this dude being a total freaking creep. Man, I don't know. Have you guys seen this video of Swalwell being an absolute freaking creep? Kissing this lady in the mouth, grabbing on her, just being an absolute pervert. This guy's disgusting. But the fact that a lot of this stuff is on video is what makes it even more damning. He was so damn bold. Bro was so bold. He knew he was being recorded, I believe. And he still was like, I don't care what they talking about. They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about, they ain't talking about nothing. He was on some Kendrick Lamar type shit. He didn't care. Here's a video of him being a creep. Now remember, this guy's married. This guy is married. And he's doing this shit on video. Eric, stop. Look at this. I mean, she looks like she's a young slut, but what I'm saying is, bro, you married. You married, E. Bro, up in there like he in high school. Bro, nothing in you was like, bro, if this get out, this is going to be all bad. Yeah, I'm not even sharing Alex's stuff. This is all bad. And it's like, bro doesn't even care. And that's how these California politicians act. They act like they're just totally untouchable. They think they're mobsters. Bro, on a two-man, facts. He better have other bro who's a part of the two-man coming out like, nah, woo, that's your only hope, bro. Because they're accusing Eric specifically. They're not even bringing up other bro. See, that's the only thing that'll give me a little bit of pause. They're only coming after Eric, right? But if bro don't come out swinging, if bro don't come out this whole like, nah, that's my bro, he didn't do nothing, these hoes be lying, right? Well, all men are addicted to the punani, you jerk. That's not the issue. It's whether you're trying to do it by choice or by force. And they're taking it by force. There's nothing wrong with a man having a healthy sexual appetite. But when you're like, I've never in my life, I've never in my life thought to drug a woman's drink. You just don't do that. You simply do not drug a woman in an effort to take advantage of her. You don't. Right? You just can never do that. And if you have to drug a woman to get her to sleep with you, right? If you have to drug a woman allegedly to get her to sleep with you, bro, that's not the woman for you, bro. That's just this is some college frat boy shit. This is some college frat boy shit that Swalwell has taken into his adult life. And I'm not saying that when college frat boys do it, that it's okay. It's never okay to do this. Ever. If you have a son, tell him, son, it is never okay. It doesn't matter if she likes drugs and she likes doing them. If there's a woman doing anything that gets her to the point where she's not able to coherently give you a yes or no answer, damn near on record, then you need to just leave that alone. Damn near if she ain't coming at you, hopping on it, you need to leave that alone. That's the lesson to give. This guy is a creep. He looks like a creep. And I know looks, you can't tell anything by looks, but he just looks guilty in his face. Like he knows he's effed up. Let's listen to him lie. Because this man knows these videos exist. Because he sent these women pictures of his penis. He sent them text messages, videos, all that. So he knows what he sent them. And then bro tries to do it through Snapchat. Like, oh, Snapchat will delete it. Bro, do you know how easy it is to screen record Snapchat? Do you realize that people out here got two phones and they could record something while it's playing on their phone? They could have their friend, hey girl, look at this. I know people will wait until they get around another person who can record it before they even open it because they know that you're a freak and you send them some creep stuff. And if they act like they like you, you're going to send more creepy stuff. You're going to send more D-pics. That's just the way it is with people like this. But how you come out and deny this joint when you know you're guilty as hell?
A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife. And to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position. I also apologize to you if in any way you have doubted your support for me. But I think you know who I am. For over 20 years, I have served the public as a city councilman, as a member of Congress, and as a prosecutor who went to court on behalf of victims, particularly on behalf of sexual assault victims. That's who I am and have always been. This weekend, I'm going to spend time with my family and friends, and I appreciate those who have reached out to me to show support. And I look forward to updating you very soon.
Yeah, Eric. We don't need updates. We need you to stop being the very predator that you claim to be defending women against. That's what we need from you, E. Hold on. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure my stuff. Yeah. So we need you to stop being. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure my stuff. Yeah. So we need you. Yeah, we need you to stop. Okay. We need you to stop being the very predator that you claim to be protecting women from. If you guys want to come up and drop your opinion on this, let me know. Do you think this is damning for the Democrat Party in California? See, me as a person who's lived in California for a long time, I don't think this is the end for them, because I know that Democrats, they're professionals at doing mental gymnastics to justify anything that they once claimed to stand against. I know that. Just being around Democrats so long,
A lot has been said about me today through.
I don't know what the heck's going on, but they can justify absolutely anything. So, do I think this is a deal breaker for them? No, they'll just go right down the line to the next Democrat. They'll never ask the question, well, how much did these other Democrats know about what Eric Swalwell was doing, and simply decided not to say anything about it? Yeah, and simply decided not to say anything about it. They'll never ask that, because with Democrats, you know, if it's politically inconvenient, they'll just ignore it. That's how they roll. If it's politically inconvenient, they're not dealing with it. 100%. And I don't know why they're like that, but just know that just know that that's how they are. Something is unplugged because something might be unplugged, because for whatever reason I can't hear anything through my actual headphones. But there's always something. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Uh, Dims will piss on you and say it rain. No, 100%, 100%. Just over the years, we're the state that elected Gavin Newsom. We're the state that elected Gavin Newsom, and everyone in this state. This guy slept with his best friend's wife while he was married. He did this before he became governor, and we elected him the governor. So I know that in California, the moral compass, it doesn't matter. Many people in California, we will act like we will condemn Trump. We will condemn Republicans all day, while while simultaneously voting for politicians that are doing worse than Trump. I'm not even going to lie to you. We will condemn Trump all day while we vote for politicians who are doing 10 times worse than anything he's done. Because it's just all for show. Throw salt at this person, shame this person for a certain action, then go vote for a person who's doing worse. I don't know why it is that way in this state, but this is what they do. And we love voting. We love screaming that we want the Epstein files to protect the children. Whole time we're electing people who do things that put children directly in harm's way in the name of being progressive. In the name of being progressive. We don't, in this state, I don't care what anyone tells you. In this state, we do not care about victims, bro. We do not care about victims. Here's another, I don't know if we could play this, but there's another victim. She had an even more, she had an even more graphic story. So prepare yourselves for this one. She had an even more graphic story of her experience with Eric Swalwell, aka Eric Swallows Well, and it's just disgusting. Let's tap into this right here.
Became a junior staffer. She's speaking in shadow as she fears professional consequences.
It was in 2019. I was, again, driving him to an event. This was my job.
And you were 21 years old.
And I was 21 years old. We see some sort of parking lot, and he says to pull over. He pulls out his penis and instructs me to give him oral sex. And I started to. Again, I felt incredibly uncomfortable. And I stopped, and I said to him, this feels really uncomfortable, and anyone could see us right now. And he said to me, you're right. It's probably not good for a congressman to be caught with his pants down.
Swalwell calls her allegations false. His became a junior staffer. She's speaking in shadow as she fears professional consequences.
It was in 2019. I was, again, driving him to an event. This was my job.
And you were 21 years old.
And I was 21 years old. We see some sort of parking lot, and he says to pull over. He pulls out his penis and instructs me to give him oral sex. And I started to. Again, I felt incredibly uncomfortable. And I stopped, and I said to him, this feels really uncomfortable, and anyone could see us right now. And he said to me, you're right. It's probably not good for a congressman to be caught with his pants down.
Swalwell calls her allegations false. His became a junior staffer. She's speaking in shadow as she fears professional consequences.
It was in 2019. I was...
Sorry, I was trying to see if I could get these headphones to work. But yeah, so there you go. He's just a creep of the lowest order. Now if you're just dating and, you want somebody to do something like that, what, I don't care. Have your fun, do whatever. But when you're doing this in a predatory way, where you're basically making these girls feel like if they don't do this, then their political career could be on the line. Right, she did it though, facts. But where their political career could be on the line, you're being a predator. You're trying to coerce them into doing these things under the fear of negative consequences. And a lot of these women have went to school for years. They've gone to school for years to get these opportunities. And some of them just say, you know what? I'm not going to blow my opportunity because, this guy's a perv. Let me go ahead and do this and start looking for a job, or let this job carry me as far as it can, right? They'll just do it. They'll just do it. And it's really sad that they have to be put in this situation. But what's worse, in my opinion, is that these people have the audacity to try to act like they are like protectors of women. What do you do when even the so-called protectors are predators? What do you do when the people who are supposed to be fighting to keep you safe are sometimes worse than the people that they're trying to tell you that they're claiming to try to keep you safe? They're keeping you safe from. What do you do? I'm sure it has to feel kind of like you're in a prison. Hell, I say something and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. But Trump and the Epstein files, we want them. And man, these people are probably screaming for the Epstein files, knowing they're probably not going to get released, knowing good and damn well that their names are in the Epstein files. That's the issue here. That's the issue here. And now these dudes are talking about Swalwell more than they're talking about Trump. But I promise you, Democrat voters will continue to support Democrats. Because like I've said from the beginning, right? Uh, like I told you from the beginning, they only care about this because they only care about this stuff if Donald Trump is doing it. They allegedly. They don't care. You don't see victims coming out saying this type of shit about Trump. You got the one crazy deranged lady talking about, oh, when I was 13, whatever, right? And then she files the case and drops it and files it and drops it. She's mentally ill. Even the investigator said there's something going on in her head. You don't hear people like Donald Trump had tried to make me give him head in the car and he pulled over in the parking lot. These people are giving detailed, they're giving detailed descriptions of what this guy did to them and of the things that this guy tried to make them do in his primordial lust. I wouldn't be surprised if this dude killed somebody. He literally gives me serial killer vibes. There's just something about this guy's face and his mannerisms that I could never trust this guy around my daughter.
I want to speak, though, to a larger concern that I have with the bill. And I first want to speak personally because there's nobody on this committee who has been a bigger victim of the weaponization of the intelligence community than me. I have had my cell phone data subpoenaed and procured by the Trump administration. In 2012, in a district with 40% Asian Americans, an Asian volunteer helped my campaign. I was later asked by the FBI to help the FBI understand who this person was. I did, cooperated. They took care of a threat I was not aware of. And then years later, under the Trump administration, an IC official leaked my cooperation, perverted it, suggested wrongdoing. Fox News ran with it. A member of this committee filed an ethics report against me. Thousands of death threats have come at me. Hundreds of thousands of dollars from me have been spent to protect myself and my family. I was removed from the Intelligence Committee by Speaker McCarthy to only learn a few months ago that the Ethics Committee took years for that complaint to find that by Speaker McCarthy to only learn a few months ago that the Ethics Committee took years for that complaint to find that what was alleged was not substantiated and the complaint was closed and no wrongdoing was found. So I know what it's like when an administration misuses the intelligence community to go after an enemy. I know it. I felt it. Paid the price for it.
Yeah, but he didn't pay a big enough price because he continued to do creepy, perverted stuff, and he didn't let that be a deterrent. He used that. He took that as a sign that, yo, guess what? I'm above the law, and that's what too many of these politicians are doing these days. They get away with something. They get away by the skin of their nuts, as my uncle used to say. And they take that to mean that they're untouchable. And that is exactly what Eric Swalwell did. That's exactly what he did. But guys, I mean, I really don't know what else to say about this. This guy is, he's just a total creep. And and honestly, just tell me if you agree with me. Does it low-key feel like Democrats are trying to just sweep this under the rug? You don't hear them on TV going hard, going crazy about it, like they do with the Epstein files. They couldn't say Epstein files enough. Why aren't they attacking this with the same amount of energy? No, yeah, if you're innocent, it shouldn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars to clear your name. I can't say that because legal fees rack up, bro. Like that, even with Swalwell, like it will take a lot. Because if you got high power lawyers coming at you, they know exactly what to do to get you to want to settle. But there's a video where this guy is Eric Swalwell's buddy. And I'm trying to find it. It was like the #1 video, and I actually have it on another social media site. But this is Eric Swalwell's buddy right here. He was like Eric Swalwell's right-hand man. And him and Eric Swalwell just this year were together doing interviews. There's a Popeyes chicken commercial playing on this right now, so we're gonna let the Popeyes chicken commercial go away. Popeyes. But check this out.
The recent accusations are bringing back some other ethics concerns about Swalwell.
Yeah, ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Gloria Rodriguez continues our team coverage live from the newsroom tonight. Gloria?
Yes, Eric Swalwell resigning his seat in Congress after allegations of sexual assault, and it's unclear where Swalwell is now. But one thing is clear, he was knocked out of a former supporter's home.
I said, pal, you busted the trust. I'm disappointed and disgusted. Get the out of here.
Former timeshare resort executive Stephen Klubeck told KTTV Los Angeles about kicking out former East Bay Congressman Eric Swalwell, who is facing allegations of sexual misconduct. Klubeck was a former supporter of Swalwell who says he's no longer a Democrat, but now a libertarian Republican. We found the most recent financial disclosure report for Swalwell, filed in 2025, sheds light onto his relationship with Klubeck. It shows Swalwell accepted private air transportation to Nice, France from Klubeck, valued at nearly $31,000. To be clear, the House Committee on Ethics website does not state this as a violation. Our data team looked through gift travel filings, and the Nice trip was not listed as an official trip. I talked to Craig Holman, a government affairs lobbyist for Public Citizen, a nonprofit consumer advocacy organization. Holman focuses on issues like governmental ethics.
I'd have to know more about it, but it certainly raises red flags. We attempted to reform some of the most egregious abuses of privately sponsored travel by members of Congress and travel paid for by other governmental sources. Back with the Honest Leadership and Open Government Act in 2008, and we achieved some really phenomenal reforms.
The campaign of Tom Steyer, who is running for governor, had alleged Swalwell appeared to live in California on paper only, and that Swalwell and his spouse executed a deed of trust designating Washington, D.C. as Swalwell's principal address. Monday, our crew went to the Livermore home that Swalwell lists as one of his addresses, but nobody appeared to be in the home at the time. And when it comes to these sexual misconduct allegations, Holman says that Swalwell appears to be trying to get out of the reach of the Congressional Ethics Committee by resigning now. He says that's because the Ethics Committee would have no jurisdiction, and the Department of Justice would need to determine whether to press charges and take him to court. Live in the newsroom, Gloria Rodriguez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So if bro
to deny the sexual assault and misconduct allegations against him. During an appearance on News Nation, she calls...
If bro is trying to get away from the ethics committee, right? So they won't have any jurisdiction over him. What do you think that says? See, here's the thing with the ethics committee. The ethics committee is made up of people who actually know you, right? So those are people who know you're a creep. They've been around you for years. They've heard all the accusations made against you, and now they'll have a chance to pass judgment on you. He would rather go to the mercy of the Trump DOJ. But he's talking about Trump's evil, Trump's bad. A Democrat would rather go be at the mercy of the Trump DOJ, right? Than to face other Democrats than to face other Democrats in a legal setting. What is that, bro? That damn near tells you everything you need to know, right there. He would rather go before Republican president's Department of Justice than his own colleagues in the California legislature, guys. I mean, or the national Democrats. That tells you everything, because they know him. They know the accusations. They know the people who he assaulted, because they're probably the ones who went to do damage control for him when he was running for the California state legislature. They were the ones who do the damage control. They pay the hush money. And now they're like, see, bro, you effing it up for everybody. And they're ready to make his ass pay. That's why he doesn't want to sit before them, y'all. That is the one and only reason why he doesn't want to sit before his fellow Democrats. I'm telling y'all, these people, when it comes to saving their own damn skin, they get some sense. The lies and the BS get kicked to the curb. This is Klubeck.
Look, I live in the world of telling the truth, and I'm disappointed. I'm shocked. I'm beyond disappointed. Beyond disappointed. You know, we expect people in Congress and in our political world to tell the truth.
And I want y'all to know this about Klubeck before we let him keep going. He's a scumbucket too. He was running for the governorship. He wanted to be governor because he announced that he was running in November 2024. But he dropped out because nobody supported him. He's a multi-billionaire. So once he pulled out, he threw his support and money behind Swalwell. But what did you just say, Joshua? Birds of a feather flock together. He ain't no better. He ain't no damn better. But I just want you guys to understand that while these dudes claim to be fighting against billionaires and billionaires should pay their fair share, guys, they're literally financed by billionaires. They all have billionaire sugar daddies. That is what is the in thing now. Political figures, talking heads like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, they are all looking for a billionaire sugar daddy. They should have a site, billionaire sugar daddy for commentators and politicians.com, because they understand that the billionaire sugar daddies can shield them from any financial repercussions of the things that they say. Why do you think Tucker Carlson flipped the script? Because he has a billionaire Qatari Muslim sugar daddy. But if you want that Qatari Muslim sugar daddy money, right, you're going to have to talk shit on Israel, and you're going to have to be very supportive of Iran. This is not rocket science, people. But this was Eric Swalwell's sugar daddy, who controls what he does and what he says.
Asked him numerous times, is there anything we need to know? And he lied to us. All right? You don't lie about stuff like this. You don't lie. You don't do it, right?
You guys have been close friends for...
I've known him for the longest time. And I'm going to tell you something that I've never seen him out with women.
I've known him for the longest time, but I've never seen him out with women, blah, blah. Shut up, bro. And then he's going to say, he never brought a woman here. You're a liar, Klubeck. You were okay with whatever he was doing because you knew that once he got elected, you would have that boy by the nuts. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The same shit that came out against Eric Swalwell today, right now, is exactly what people like Klubeck would have been using to blackmail him once he was governor.
When he stayed here occasionally, he's never brought a woman here.
Did you suspect this at all?
No! I was blown away. Like, blown away. Like, there's no way I would have endorsed him.
Yeah.
It's such a shock. And you know what? With a lot of the phone calls I've had over the last couple of days, if you want to be a really good investigative journalist, start investigating everyone in Congress. Because it's a cesspool of the S word.
Some more of this going on.
I got to be careful, you know.
Did you guys hear what Glubeck just said? He said, you want to be a good investigative journalist? Investigate everybody. They all have dirt on these people. California is a state that is run by corrupt politicians who have to answer to the billionaire class because the billionaire class has dirt on every last one of them. And now the billionaires, they've seen Donald Trump basically take over the country, and they're like, look, they want to do what Trump did. They want to do what Trump did. They want to move into the political positions in the states so they can have that level of control. Glubeck told everybody, he just snitched on everybody. He said, you want to be a good investigative journalist? Investigate everybody.
FCC with you.
Yeah.
You think Swalwell was
journalist? Start investigating. If you want to be a really good investigator. A lot of the phone calls I've had over the last couple days.
He just pulled that out of nowhere. This guy didn't ask him anything about that. He threw that out there.
If you want to be a really good investigative journalist, start investigating everyone in Congress. Because it's a cesspool of the S word.
Some more of this going on.
I got to be careful, you know, FCC with you.
Yeah.
You know, and start investigating it. Clean it up. We are customers of the United States. We deserve equal or greater value for our tax dollars. All right? And is it fair enough?
Yeah. I was going to say, fair to say you're mad. I mean...
Mad?
Yeah.
I am no longer a Democrat. I'm now a libertarian Republican. Because that's what a blue dog Democrat used to be. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's called executing, being accountable, enforcing, respect, responsibility, and results. Knowing what your job description is. Delivering results. Unifying. Making this country great. The great brand we have, okay? Or we used to.
Making this country great. Sounding a lot like Trump, isn't he? You can't, listen, you cannot ignore this. The fact that this guy just said investigate everybody. But my thing is, Mr. Glubeck, if you know all this dirt that was on everyone, how come you didn't expose this dirt? How come you're only telling, oh, it's a cesspool, but then you claim you didn't know what was going on with Eric Swalwell? These people are so easy, bro, because 90% of the time they're drunk. 90% of the time they're freaking tipsy. So they say things that they don't even realize are exposing the fact that they're complicit in everything that's going on. He knew Eric Swalwell was dirty. He's dirty. He's literally probably participating in the two-mans with Eric Swalwell. He's probably bringing chicks over nightly to that little spot over there. Right? $30,000 a month mansion, and you're just letting Eric Swalwell stay there for free. But these are the people who the Democrat Party voters believe are so innocent, and they would never do anything. Bro, please. You're delusional. These people are closer to who you think Donald Trump is than Donald Trump even is. That's real. That's 100% facts. Guys, let me get this super chat really quick. And please don't forget, we got a super chat challenge. We got 10 super chats of any amount, $1, $2, $3, whatever. Just we ask that you help support the content so we can keep making these beautiful videos for you. And I don't have to be dependent on YouTube ad revenue dollars. So my brother Sucker Season LA said, damn, they got videos. He is cooked. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Also, if you do not have the super chat feature available to you, at pinned to the top of the chat, you have the ability to contribute via PayPal and Cash App if you feel inclined to do so. Really quick, guys, we're going to talk about Ashlee Janae, the social media influencer who disappeared in, who was found dead in Tanzania. Tanzania is a country inside of Africa. She went on vacation with her Caucasian boyfriend, and she was found dead. We're gonna cover that story. Let me restart my computer so I can get some sound in my headphones. I don't know what's going on with that, but for whatever reason, I got no sound. Let me restart my computer. Bear with me. Probably take about 5 minutes or less. Probably take about 2 or 3 minutes, tops, and then I'll be right back with you, and we will be covering Ashlee Janae. Shout out to my brother Joshua Northern for the $2 holler in the super chat. I appreciate you, brother, for helping me reach my super chat goal. But if you guys wait for me, you can take this time to drop a super chat donation contribution or simply hit the like button or subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So let me go ahead and make this happen, and let's see if we can get the audio corrected. Okay, guys, I think we got it working. I think we got everything together. So thank you for staying with me. Shout out to all my people on X, formerly known as Twitter, who are watching. Shout out to all my people on YouTube. And shout out to my people who are watching on Facebook. So we need to talk about the Ashlee Janae situation. And I want to cover this accurately. Hold on. I'm just trying to find my notes. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're getting into Ashlee Janae. Okay. This all happened in Zanzibar. And they say that Zanzibar is a paradise. White sand, turquoise water. They call it the Spice Island. I know about this because I'm always in Kenya, which is right next to Tanzania. Literally, you can walk across the border between Kenya and Tanzania. They say that it's the Spice Island of the Indian Ocean. Why it's the Indian Ocean and not the African Ocean beats the hell out of me, but colonialism. But for Ashlee Janae, who is a social media influencer, this dream trip to Tanzania quickly became a nightmare, and her life ended in a luxury villa. The facts are very foggy. They're conflicting. Ashlee was there to celebrate her 31st birthday and a fresh engagement to her fiance, Joe McCann. But on April 10th, the celebration was over. The official narrative, he said that he went in the room and she hung herself. A claim that her family and friends who knew her as a vibrant beacon of light vehemently reject. There's a shadow over this whole timeline. We know that there was a heated argument at the Zanzibar resort. It was so intense that the hotel staff had to intervene, physically separating Joe from Ashlee and putting the couple in different rooms for their own safety. Why? What was said in the room before silence took over and this hanging herself took place? Then the most haunting detail of this whole situation is that Joe McCain reportedly waited 11 hours after Ashlee McCain was hospitalized before contacting her family. I mean, bro, Joe, I think that that's something that you might want to let her family know immediately. I mean, within the minute, Joe, just maybe. 11 hours in a foreign country where the legal system is very complex for foreigners and where an autopsy is mandatory for any unnatural death. But also me being familiar with Africa, a country where just a couple dollars can change a murder into a suicide. Trust me. Guys, listen, I'm telling you, in Africa, that boy could give out maybe $1,000 and that coroner will be like, she hung herself. When that coroner is looking at her body and that body is showing that she was clearly murdered. Trust me. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just the way it is in Africa, bro. I'm telling you, you could put the police on your payroll in Africa for a couple $100s. So while McCain remains in Tanzania with a suspended passport pending investigation, the family has obtained medical records from a second hospital. The cause of death listed? Cerebral hypoxia. Do you guys know what that is? That means she was strangled to death. Tanzania is a land of beauty, but its political apparatus and legal hurdles can be a labyrinth for those who are actually seeking the truth. As we always go back to the Bible, as the Bible says at Luke the 8th chapter, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Was this a tragic event that followed a violent struggle? Or was this a misunderstanding that now has Joe McCann trapped in Tanzania, unable to leave? I'm going to put my money on the fact that this white dude strangled this black girl. And there's a lot of people who are going to say, oh, she should have never been dating a white boy and blah, 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 blah. But what I'm going to tell you is this. You need to be careful before you run your ass to another country with anyone. Because is there a possibility Joe McCain, I heard he was rich. Is there a possibility that bro could influence the outcome of this situation with money? Yes. There's a very big chance that Joe McCann can influence the outcome of this situation with money. All he needs to know is where he needs to send the money to. And You know, a lot of people are saying his whereabouts are unknown, and it's true. You can disappear in Africa. Bro could be in a village right now in a mud hut, and no one will find him ever. You saw they couldn't find black-ass Wesley Snipes. But I want to know what you guys think. As the investigation continues and the forensic evidence contradicts the initial reports, do you think international pressure is necessary or needed so that we can get to the bottom of this? Do you think this is the only way to ensure that the truth is not buried under a shroud of money and corruption? Because I'm just telling you guys, it's very easy for this guy to make this situation disappear. I'm sorry. I know we want to believe that the world is a great place, and it really is, and I love Africa. I'm there all the time. But, bro, do not travel to Africa with people you don't know. Do not do it. And I'm not saying this because the Africans, right? I'm saying because just like that situation in Mexico, people can damn near do anything to you in some of these third world countries. And I'll be real with you, they don't have the same legal resources as a first world nation. So a lot of the time it's just kind of like, look, man, we sorry it happened. We'll try to tell you what happened, but ultimately they're not trying to hold Joe McCann in jail because that means they got to feed him. So the chance that he could get away with this is very likely. Why do you think these rich guys, right? Why do you think these rich guys like to go to these foreign countries to party? Why do you think that? Because they know that they can get away with damn near anything and no one is going to say anything to them about it. I'm looking at some of her pictures and videos. This girl is gorgeous. Jesus. Woo. She's gorgeous. And Joe McCann looks like a typical angry white dude who has anger issues. But my thing is like, you guys are in Africa walking with lions and shit. What are y'all arguing about? What the hell are you guys arguing about? I mean, you're already her white warrior. What are you mad about, bro? You know exactly why this woman is with you. That's what kills me. If you know the woman is with you for your Skrilla, what is there to argue about? That's my only question. If you know this woman is with, she found her white savior, baby. Nah, you can keep him. I don't know what's going on. But it's cool. Let him say whatever he wants. But man, I'm gonna let y'all watch. She found her man. He wanna marry this heifer. They kissing on the mouth. Ew. Kiss me on the mouth. What if that lion would have turned around and just attacked their ass? See, that's white people shit right there. Some things you just don't do. If I'm going to be around that lion, I'm going to need a gun and a knife. The lion was AI? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Because it looked real as hell. I ain't really paying attention to it. But just, do you think when she was hugging on this white man, she knew he was going to eventually choke her to death? Do you think she had any clue? Do you think she had any clue? Probably not. But I mean, him being white has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with, you don't know these people. Like, I don't know how long they knew each other, but clearly either, because, this ain't the first time Broden got enraged. But are women, and I'm not just talking about black women, women have to stop this bull crap where they think that just because a man has money, yes, he's the one. Women have been marrying men who weren't rich for millennia. But why? Because everyone ain't going to get the rich dude. Sometimes there are rich dudes who are toxic. And they'll get you in a place like Tanzania and y'all get to scrapping and he being killed. Probably ain't the first time he beat her ass, I promise you. But what do we know? Goldberg, crazy. But what do we know about a lot of these women? They'll stay. They'll accept the abuse if they think that they're going to profit from it. She was ready to risk it all to be with this white dude. And guess what? Ultimately, she did risk it all because she ended up dead. I hate that this had to happen to this girl. Guys, the link is in the comments. If you want to come up and say something, send her off the right way. But you have to stop with this crap, ladies. You have to stop. This is not, in my opinion, love. This is not love. This is lust, fetishism, or fetishizing. And ultimately, it stems from insecurity. Do you think if this guy didn't have $1 in his pocket, Ashley would be with him? Hell no. Do you think if this guy couldn't have her at front row seats at a damn a Washington Wizards game, she would be with him? Hell no. But do you know that he knows that? Of course he does. And as much as he's able to afford the lifestyle necessary to have women like this eating out of his palm, there's always going to be a certain level of rage and resentment within. Because fetishization, yes. There's always going to be a level of rage and resentment within. That unfortunately, if the wrong things are said or done, it's going to come to the fore. And you don't know if this guy's going to be able to control it or not. He killed, in my mind, he's innocent until proven guilty. But in my mind also it's saying he choked her to death and then tried to make it look like she tried to hang herself. Now, suffocation and strangulation. Hanging is exactly that, right? So yes, when you hang yourself, it is suffocation and strangulation, self-inflicted. But we also know that this big old dude could very easily have overpowered little Ashley and strangulated her. Now, we don't know, and on this channel, we let justice play out. But what it's looking like, it's looking funny. And you know who I think about when I see this situation? You know the girl from Queen of Kings, that little Rose chick, the little ugly one with the fake boobies? I think of her. See, and these women see that, a lot of these black women see that situation. Little black girl with this big old corn-fed white dude, and he's my king and all this shit, and they want to try to imitate that. But understand something about women. Women are the kings, the queens of imitation. They always want to imitate what they see. Always. Every time you see a woman buy something, or, ooh, girl, this is cute, they're saying that because someone else, they saw another woman wearing it. Let Kim Kardashian come out in an outfit. Millions of women gonna run and try to buy it. Women sometimes I believe they have no original thought. The women that they follow have fashion designers and stuff who what's it called? The wardrobe people who help them pick out what to wear. And they help them pick out what to wear, and then they wear it, and then millions of women all over the globe see them wear it, then they run out and go buy it. That's kind of like the nature of women. So when they see Rose Miller, thank you for that, no more BS. When they see Rose Miller, they see what she's doing, and that's the way their brains are wired. Imitation, not innovation. Why do you think there are not a lot of female inventors? Right? Right? Understand. Why do you think you don't see many female inventors? Because they're not really innovators in a sense. Even professionally. Most of the professions women dominate were dominated by men first. Teaching. Men still dominate cooking, culinary. But even the professions women now dominate, men dominated those professions at first. Yeah, they're stylists, right? Fashion stylists, right? So understand that. So when Rose Miller came out, and let me get this comment because I want to give my brother credit where Rose Miller is staying with her white zaddy, and he's broke. Yeah, he's broke, but his family has some type of money or land or whatever, and they like let them like build a house on something. He has something to offer. He wasn't broke when he was tricking on her. And then also he was like her bodyguard when she was doing her whole business. I was a stripper. No, your bony ass wasn't making no money as a stripper. You was a prostitute in Vegas. Stop. She just lies. And people suck it up, right? But women are inherently kind of wired to imitate. And so now you see a lot of women trying to pursue that same aesthetic or that situation that Rose Miller is displaying. But see, one thing about Rose Miller, she low-key, it's kind of like she got mind control over that dude. You know, he been chasing that shit since she didn't have nothing. But it's fetishization, as someone helped me with that word earlier. And it's not safe. It's not healthy at all. At all. Yeah. And I get it. You're skinny, you're scraggly, you're black. Let's be real. In the black circle, you ain't really much to talk about. Most black dudes are not chasing and hunting that down. I'm sorry. They just not. But there is a lot of room for a white guy to he feel like he overachieved with that. And that's what they want. These women want to be worshiped. I remember my own lady was like, I want you to be obsessed with me. I was like, I almost choked on my damn food I was eating. Obsessed with you for what, nigga? Well, but that's women. That's women. They want this unhealthy, toxic type of obsession from men. I told her straight up to her face, I'm never going to be obsessed with you. Ever. I love you. I like you a lot. You're awesome. I'd quickly die for you. I'd lay down my life for you. But obsession, you sound stupid. You sound like you heard that shit on some TikTok video. And that's exactly where she most likely heard it. They're not thinking. They're not like, oh, man, that sounds stupid. They're just like repeating it because I like the way that sounds. Let me go say that to my man and get laughed at. Let's go. Africulture in the building. We got a conversation, y'all. Let's cheer it up for the conversation. Go ahead, bro.
Social media sensationalism, bro. Like, it's crazy. But can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. What's the deal, man? What you think happened, bro? Like, I kind of got. You think so?
Yeah.
I told somebody that.
Sure, bro.
Yeah, I told somebody that too. I don't know. I just feel like maybe he caught her like, maybe he been whipping her ass. I don't know, but she could have been flirting with some local Tanzanians.
Nah, hell no. Ain't nobody flirting with no damn local Tanzanian. It could be one of those situations where bro got in her phone, you know what I'm saying? Or she getting the wrong type of attention from another dude. Yep. He brings it up. And one thing about a lot of black women, when they get exposed, they get angry and they get violent and start yelling and screaming. And bro probably just is like that too. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna take it to the next level on you. It was something, but these chicks are always shopping around for new talent. Yep. He's a sugar daddy now, but she's looking for a bigger sugar daddy, or maybe a more aesthetically pleasing sugar daddy, or still fucking with her pimp. A lot of these chicks be having pimps. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, I was just agreeing, but that's crazy. I couldn't even imagine. Like, I was just trying to think of ways, other ways, other causes that could have possibly happened. But I guess I don't know. Maybe it was him. I don't know. But I don't know shit about the story. I don't know. I never followed them. I don't know who she is, who he is. So shit, I'm kind of new to it. But I just wanted to kind of find out what you thought about it.
Yeah, I think it is what it looked like. I think bro choked her. Because why would she go hang herself all of a sudden unless bro was like, B, it's over and give me my ring back and you about to go back to the projects? And she was like, no, I can't live with, you know, maybe something like that. But I highly doubt it. She's an attention seeker.
Yeah, I
You
knew it
can
ain't no
never,
suicide. I knew it
nah,
ain't no suicide.
you can't never drive a attention seeker to kill themselves, bro. Like they live for attention, bro. And
Yeah.
if they dead, they can't get it. Somebody said, Azazel, my brother, said also remember white males aren't used to a girl mouthing off to them like that. That's something black men have to do with. You lying. You're lying. Because I live around a bunch of white people, and the way these white women be hoeing the shit out of their boyfriends and husbands, it's this dude next door. He got like a kid. He's white. He has a kid by this big, fat, gelatinous white lady who lives next door. And she has a kid from a previous relationship as well. So she goes to work. Bro stays at home. Bro, one day they was walking down the street right here on the corner, and the little boy was crying. The one he got by her. It's his son. The little boy was crying, and he's like, stop that crying. Let's go. We're going to the house. She turned around and looked at that motherfucker. Don't talk to him like that. Who the fuck do you think? I mean, she turned up on bro. Bro was standing there like a whoop dog.
Yeah, white folks be arguing, bro. You
Man, white
tripping.
women be going in on white dudes, and they so damn goofy. Man,
I,
bro.
I done seen some of them, bro. Like if the white dude not kicking their ass, bro, like she literally dominating him in there, bro.
Bro.
Like how are you letting her do all this, bro? Like you know where you come from, bro. You know who you is,
bro. Like I see why white men left they women for months and years at a time to go travel the world. They was like, I don't feel like hearing this bitch mouth. I'd rather be on a ship with Christopher Columbus. They are the kings of like, I'm leaving and I'll be back in a couple months type shit. They call black dudes the absentee fathers. Shit, they was absentee too. They just had a good excuse for it. They was just coming back with shit.
they the original baby daddy.
Right. They were just dropping off sperm and then going to war to fight for King Richard for 10 years. Right? But then they'll call us deadbeats. But, 100% Azazel, there are weak men in every race. But what I'm just saying is, when you were like, white men ain't used to that, do you see the way Rose Miller talks to her husband? She talks to that dude like he's shit. And he's big as hell. I literally be like, why don't he just leave this old scraggly thing? But she is one, he has children by her now. But man, white dudes be getting hoed, bro, by their women. But she probably tried that with bro, and she just probably found the right one. Bro was like, okay, pop goes the weasel, bitch. Go ahead, Costa.
So what I've been following this thing for since it happened. What I understand is this girl is like she a video vixen.
Okay.
So she done been with like several entertainers. Kevin Gates.
What?
Offset. Is it Offset or Quavo? Quavo. She been with Quavo. She been with like five other dudes, like, and she got pictures with these people. So like my conclusion, every person that you got a photo with, you done crack them. You don't let them crack. So she ain't a nobody. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
This is somebody who is has a prominent she got a prominent, like, she's a figure. She got kind of like
has a legit following.
Yeah, she got a following. So I could see him packing her, bro. I could really, because like, and I can see him saying like fabricating it by paying off the officials, the mortician who performs the autopsy. Like I can see that happening. It'll be expensive to keep everybody quiet, but I can see it happening. But I could also see her delusionally unaliving herself just based off the information I gathered on her family. Like her mother, she is in an interracial marriage relationship, and she got 3 biracial kids after this girl, Ashlee Janae. Her dad's, of course, black, but her mother married a white man. So you can see where the mentality come from. And I can see how maybe if, like, just based off the way mama was talking, she just seemed like she was out of touch with reality. And I could see her wanting to be with a white man so bad for her mother's approval that this is the one that'll get away and she just can't live without him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
but
that's a possibility.
but like history tells us that it is often the white man unaliving these girls, bro. Like in Tanzania at that, man. Like and the last post, it was so crazy. Her last post was like, if I'm in a dream, please don't wake me up. Oh man, it's crazy.
That's very cryptic. It's very
It's real
cryptic.
cryptic. Like this whole situation. But like white folks, they like a sick joke. Like this ain't nothing but a sick joke. It rhymed too much, like it's on her birthday. She in Africa living her soft life. Her soft life. They all these girls, they want their soft life.
Hard wig, soft life. Not the hard wig, soft life.
Is she? So what you think about her, bro? You think you saying she was skinny? I don't know. I think she looked like a black Barbie doll.
She alright.
She wasn't ugly. I ain't saying she was ugly, but like I done seen something that looked better, bro. Like she was straight.
No, 100%. Well, she was alright. She was alright. She was cool.
I'm really not really bothered by this. I feel like things like this needs to happen because we got to learn the hard way. We high here.
Man, listen. Don't even get me fucking started. Don't even get me started, dude. So, people are hard here. You right. They don't want to listen to reason. They don't want to listen to reality, facts, and all that. It's just like, I just want to. People are like, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't have to listen to nobody. And let's be real. This is what happens. This is what happens.
I heard dude real scandalous too, like in the crypto field. Like it's a lot of people stop doing business with him and stuff like that. Like he a sleazy dude, so I can definitely see him packing her up, bro. Like, cause she got out of line on some rah rah rah, you know, masculine woman stuff. Like, oh man, this crazy though. I think it's crazy.
It's real wild. She definitely I don't know. We gonna find what we know is we gonna find out for sure. We gonna find out.
And, so how do you explain something like this to your daughter, Brandon?
I don't. Don't go to Africa with nobody you don't know. Period.
But can we say that she didn't know him? How long did she know this dude?
I don't even know, but like a lot of this is like also like
because she was engaged to him, and mama and daddy knew him, so like they gotta know somewhat of him. Like he ain't a stranger.
What I'll tell you is, what I'll ask is why the hell like the arguing, right? Y'all both adults. Y'all in a good situation, in a good setting.
Right.
Where's the maturity? About? Where's someone to just be like, you know what? This is BS. I ain't about to be dealing with this shit. We can just go cool off. No conflict resolution skills, right? None. Like Hustle Smart used to say. We just arguing. A stupid, ignorant white dude and a stupid, ignorant black female arguing in Africa to where, and let me tell you, in Africa, the hotel staff ain't even giving a fuck to separate you. So if y'all was going at it that hard, it was physical.
It was physical.
It was physical. And with women, it's like, you're little as fuck, girl. With these black women, I'll be like, you cannot beat no man.
Yeah, I have to tell. I don't know how many times I stress these conversations. Like, you live in a world, you got a false sense of security because of what you've been gassed up, what you've seen on TV, and you think the police gonna be there.
Right. But in Tanzania, ain't no police coming.
Yeah. It's like it takes seconds for somebody to do something to you, so you need to behave like a man can kill you. Men are violent creatures. We're violent organisms. It's encoded in us. I mean, we wouldn't have got here without that violence too. It serves a purpose. So you gotta be smart. Like that's not your thing. Like like if it was normal for for people to like just haul off and crack bitches like it used to be back in the day, bro. Like I guarantee you, it wouldn't be a lot of women being killed. Like like a lot of them would just tuck their tail whenever they feel you gonna get mad. You know what I'm saying? Or they feel you're gonna be bothered by something they do or say. But like 2-3 generations in with these females, they done got bold, bro. Like crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she was just in the wrong situation because wasn't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming in Africa to save you from nothing. Period. So you could say whatever you want to, but you on your own. They separated y'all. That's all they gonna do. And from that point on, you gotta go for what you know, dude. But you got any final thoughts on this? We gonna wrap this joint up.
Nah, I ain't got no final thoughts, man. Hey, for all the black women out here, let this be an example and the many other cases from the past. To not only, I ain't gonna say not go with white dudes, because like most black women get killed by black men.
Right,
Like
right.
statistically, like that's how it naturally supposed to be. But any man is violent. Any man is capable of violence. Even if you think you can beat him, you probably can beat him in chess, or you probably can beat him in judo or jujitsu or something like that. But like at the end of the day, he's still a man. He got a drive that you don't have, like excess testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, like power in him. So hey, it used to be this gay dude who used to hang around my sister when I was growing up, man. And my sister used to go around town trying to fight everybody, right? She used to fight everybody. He used to be a part of the fights. I didn't understand why the girls would try to fight this dude, even though he was gay and he was like almost cross-dressing. His name was Timothy. Yellow dude, yellow skin.
They chicks out there getting cooked by this
Man,
dude.
he's spanking them out there. I'm like, why do y'all keep trying to fight this dude? And then when one time he had to fight a dude, boy, he you know how that go, man. He folded. Like
I don't know what it is.
Hey,
Badass kids in Oregon.
You said what?
Nah, he asked did I talk about the badass kids in Oregon?
Never been to Oregon, man.
Look, let me see.
Yeah. But hey, women, be safe. Protect yourself. And be smart. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so. Oh. The bad kids in Oregon. How long ago was that? Thank you, Costa. How long ago was the kids out there in Oregon? You doing content with Flacco? I don't know. Did Flacco say I was doing content with him? I don't know, man. I don't know. If he hit me up, I'll do content with him. Flacco's my boy. I don't know, but we can look it up and cover it real quick. Let me see. Hey, Sucker Season, you got to tell me what badass kids or send me a link to it and I'll cover it. But shoot, I'm let me see. Oh, so there was a team takeover in Oregon. Wait a minute, I see a little something. Let me see. So it's looking like there were teen takeovers all over the country at this point. But I do see something happening in Oregon. G Money said I'm walking out. This is the one I think. This is from a couple days ago. So there's teen takeovers that are now happening all over the country. And it's really TSN, what up, bro?
Can you hear me? Hey, what's up, bro? How
Yeah,
you doing?
what's up? What's up?
Yeah, you have to go back to that lady who got killed in Tanzania or somewhere. I'm
Go
not
ahead. Give me your
surprised.
thoughts on it.
It's just crazy, but actually now a lot of black women, bro, running behind white men, man, especially in Los Angeles. Like actually now, we used to say like the black men try to date white women more often, but I'm telling you, a lot of black women actually right now just like running behind the black man because they can afford a job, they can pay their rent. And I'm telling you, like she she got killed over there by that dude. I don't want to say she deserved it, but she's a part of it, bro. Because like this fake relationship, like she been on an airplane, all that is bullshit. Private jet, party. Come on, bro. Nobody can sustain this lifestyle. Nobody.
Right. Man, let me tell you, I have a friend. You know, what it is these other races of dudes, they now understand exactly how to get in black women's underwear very easily. And they know that you don't even have to have money. All you have to do is just pretend to have money. And black women will open their legs for you like a slot machine, right? And so I have a friend. She basically just got catfished by a dude who's like a delivery food driver because he made her think that he was rich and he wasn't. She
It's
let bro
crazy.
crack her in the back seat of his car. And then when she was like, "Oh, can we go to your house and like spend the night?" He was like, "Oh nah, I'm actually married. You can't come to the house." Da da da. And she felt heartbroken over that. But when you
Yeah.
lead with money, and when black women are on the internet every day telling people, "Oh, I just want a man with money. I just want a man with money," that's not gonna bring men with money to you. That's gonna bring men who are pretending to have money to you. That's what that does. So
Exactly.
you're gonna be the victim of a bunch of con artists.
Exactly. Let me
But
say some. Let me say something to you. You know me. I'm born and raised in Europe, in Europe, right? All my friends, European friends that I know from France, from UK, they what? They get their green card by black women in the United States. Do you believe that? I can hear you. I can hear you.
sorry, I was on a phone call. Somebody
I
called me.
said,
But
I said, you know what I'm saying? I said, I'm born overseas, right? I'm born in UK, between UK and France, right?
right.
All my friends who those receive the green card, they're white in America, they get it by black woman. So what I'm
Right.
trying to say, when black woman will be nice with the white man and be hard with the black man. I'm telling you that. It's just so sad, man.
Yeah, she'll
Like,
definitely behave herself.
yeah, you can be a black electrician, she will laugh at you. A white man electrician, she's okay with it.
Shit, a white dude who's a manager at a fast food place, she's fucking with him.
Yeah, and it's
She'll
so
deal with him.
sad. And they bring this agenda. I think it's like I don't know. It's a new agenda just coming up that the black woman she believes she deserves everything. Okay, she
Oh
deserves
yeah.
everything, you know. And like I don't know, bro. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. It's
White
so
women,
sad.
white guys just know that just lead with the bullshit, and a lot of black women gonna fall for it. They know that by now. They figured them out basically, and black women haven't realized that they've been figured out. So they're still walking around like, oh yeah, everybody is like wants me, and then they just getting got because
Yeah,
they're the least. The thing you should look at is the fact that they're the least married. That
yeah,
tells you everything. Y'all
yeah,
giving out the booty, but y'all giving up the booty, but it
yeah.
ain't leading to marriage.
And
That
that's
should
why
tell you everything you need to know.
that's why they get passed over by Mexican ladies here in Los Angeles. I'm telling you.
No, yeah,
You can you
Mexican lady.
can
If you get with a Mexican lady in Los Angeles, there's a higher likelihood that she's trying to build a life with you.
yeah.
versus a black woman who's more likely, if you know, coming off like she just wants. Black women make it clear that they just want you for your money, though.
Yeah, it's so
That's the thing
sad.
that kills me. They're like, if you ain't, and let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. With black women, at least in California, you're better off just paying them for sex than actually engaging with them and trying to impress them. They'll let you know. You'll be like, hey, you want to go back to the house or what? They'll be like, oh, it ain't free. They'll tell you that they selling it. They will tell you. You could listen. In California, you can wine and dine a black woman 5 days in a row. She'll let you buy her food, take her to the movies, take her here, take her there. The minute you bring up sex or intimacy, she's gonna tell you have to pay her for it. But she gonna crack them legs open for that white dude because she's gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
And it's pathetic.
And you know, and the girl she got killed, she was a promoter of that. She used to promote that shit. She used to promote, yeah, I'm a black white guy. You got a company, or you can take me over there to Zanzibar, to all this kind of country. But that's not life. Your life is what? Your life is you got family. You have to work. You have to work hard for that money.
Well, she's
She not
dead
get
now.
killed. Yeah, she not get killed because the guy was tired of that shit. I'm telling you.
I mean, a lot of dudes, when they paying for everything like that, they don't want no back talk. Like, a lot of them dudes is like, how you gonna argue with me? You're nothing. You have nothing. I'm doing everything for you, and now you're gonna disrespect me? Man, a lot of these dudes are sick. Like, oh, you know what movie? I don't know if you guys have ever saw the movie Action Jackson. You're a tether, so you probably never saw that. But I'm just fucking. I'm joking with the tether thing. I'm really joking. That was just funny. But anyway, have you ever saw the movie Action Jackson? TSM?
No, never.
Oh God. Okay, well, it's this movie about this black guy. He's a cop. The guy who played
No, I never
Apollo
saw.
Creed in Rocky. So go watch it. You'll enjoy it. But in that movie, there's like this white guy, and he's like a creep. He's like a sadistic guy who's like a multimillionaire. And his wife goes and talks to the police, but she goes to talk to police like defending him, like, he would never do that. Da-da. She comes home. She tells the guy, well, I talked to the police, and I was telling them that you would never do that. Bro shot her straight through her stomach, killed her, and was just like it was nothing. So to some of these rich dudes, they'll change women like they changing shoes. You start talking crazy to them, they'll beat your ass and send you on your way, or do what they did to her, kill your ass. But any final thoughts, TSM?
It's just sad because, like, for black women, it's never enough. It's never enough. You bring a Mercedes, she want a Rolls Royce. You bring a Rolls Royce, she want a helicopter. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
The only men I see black women submit to and really want to deal with are bums, like black dudes who ain't working, who ain't got nothing going. But I think that is also comes from a place of control. Black women the only way I feel like a lot of black women want a black man is if they feel like they have 100% control over them. If they can't control them, they don't want them, you know?
Because most of those guys, they hook them with the drugs, free weed, free smoke. That's it, bro.
Yeah,
that's it. That's his order. That's his order about. You know, it's ridiculous. And like, to understand, all the time I've been out here, I'm saying, I see the black community just go down and down and down. It's kind of some bullshit, bro. And they complain, the Mexicans going better. Yeah, but they're doing better because they have common sense.
It's like, look at the decisions you're making. And then the black people with common sense, they're ridiculed. They're shamed. Like, look at FBA. They'll go after you. Oh, you a tether to Africans. I'm like, you could learn a lot from Africans because Africans know how to stick together.
Exactly.
But what it is jealousy and anger because they see Africans here doing things that they believe that they can't do. Like when the African come to America, you know, the excuses that the black American has been making go out the window because the African is doing it. Don't really know the language that well or has a very heavy accent. You know what I'm saying? Blacker than night. You know what I'm saying? All the things black people say, a name that's hard to pronounce, all the things black people say are holding them back in America. African come in and just go right past it like it's nothing. And, you know, Africans take away our ability to make excuses, right? And blame racism for everything. So that's why we don't.
Like, I saw some black woman laughing at the electrician, bro. They're laughing at the electrician who make 100K a year. They're laughing at him.
Yeah, and the electricians are the ones buying homes and everything in California.
He's fucking crazy, bro.
And
He's fucking
and,
crazy.
and she's literally living probably at her mom's house or in some projects on Section 8. But
Yeah.
this is what happens when you got the welfare system, because the welfare system helps them survive while they go shop for their millionaire, right? Take all that away, you'll see the number of black marriages skyrocket. Take away welfare, take away Section 8, take away HUD, housing, and all that, you will see black marriages skyrocket. Because these women go ahead.
Yeah, even I used to work at different malls, doing security. At some, like, Victoria's Secret, like a woman business. I never saw a black woman have this kind of job. I never saw a black woman have a job, a regular job.
Very rare.
In California. Come on, bro. How they make money? How you get to survive?
Oh, they sell pussy. That's how they survive.
It's so sad. It's so disgusting because
prostitution.
It's so sad, man. It's so sad. And
a lot of black women in California just engage in soft prostitution. They'll either be on Section 8, because they can get a Section 8 house where they pay no rent, $13 a month, $12 a month. They'll get a voucher that keeps their lights on where they barely pay anything. And they need income that the government can't track. So what will they do? They'll do hair, they'll do lashes, or they'll sell ass, because those are sources of income that the government can't track. And I mean, bro, you can go on TikTok. Just type in 304. They are publicly letting you know that they are in prostitute culture. They are publicly saying it. They have no shame in it. Before it was kind of taboo. They have no shame, bro. Thousands and thousands of black women. Go type in 304. You will see hundreds of pages, comments filled with black women talking about how they are prostitutes.
It's so sad.
Yes,
it's so sad.
Shit. I mean,
that's what the community is
just keep
behind,
the price low
bro.
for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this is what the community is behind, bro. Because for real. And now actually right now they got this thing like they fucking colorist themselves. Like a lot of black women used to say, white black men don't want to date us because they don't like dark skin women. It's not true. You are the one who actually run behind the white men under the table.
Hey, every accusation is a confession. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's been the case, bro. Like, you're seeing it like, oh wow, man, this has been the case in our community. And that's why people like me, I talk about it and I talk about it honestly, but I get criticized. That's why, bro, FBA is such a popular movement, because it lets black people, it allows black people to operate based on lies, right?
Exactly.
It's like a way of escape from who you are. Right, it's like a fat person going to a no fat shaming retreat. No one here is gonna call you fat. No one's gonna shame you. No one's gonna and guess what? They'll go every year. Like it's like fat women when they go to the strip club. They feel beautiful when that stripper's all up on them and gyrating on them. Makes them feel attractive and desired. They know it's not gonna be reflected in the real world, but they just want that moment of escape. But thank you for calling in, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. Guys, please don't forget that we have a super chat challenge here. 10 super chats of any amount before the show is over. We are going to cover these teen takeovers. Apparently, these teens, it used to be kind of isolated to like major urban cities run by Democrats. But now this stuff, and it still is in those type of cities, but now this is going nationwide. And it begs the question, why do we continue to allow our children, because even though they're teens, they're still children, why does this country allow its children to terrorize the populations of major cities across the country? Like, when I look at something, I look at the risk and I look at the benefit. The risk greatly outweighs the benefit with these teen takeovers because there is no benefit. Why does our country refuse to enforce the law when it comes to teenagers? What leverage do they hold over the law enforcement apparatus of this nation?
I'm national correspondent Kayla Gaskins in Washington. Violent mobs of teens are swarming streets and cities across America, wreaking havoc and causing concern. Video of the chaos spreading rapidly across social media. In Chicago's Hyde Park, large groups of teens swarmed the streets, climbing on cars, setting off alarms. Similar scenes of unrest unfolding in Detroit. And in Washington, D.C., a rowdy crowd taking over a neighborhood on Saturday. The incident led to 8 arrests, all between 12 and 17 years old. 5 are accused of assaulting an officer.
I ain't got no real guidance for real. Stay in school, y'all, and trust the process.
These large flash mob style gatherings are being dubbed teen takeovers, organized online through apps like TikTok and Snapchat, often with little warning.
I feel like we doing good to be young, and the police just be harassing us because they see we young black males trying to do what we want to do outside.
Law enforcement and city leaders are now scrambling to respond, but there's growing debate over how to handle it. In Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson is urging parents to step in.
Please do not allow your child to attend any of these trends this weekend. They're unsafe and they can turn deadly.
Some leaders in the mostly Democrat-run cities question whether arresting young people is the right approach.
Ultimately, are we using the resources in the best way?
In Washington, D.C., curfews are already in place in some areas, restricting when teens can gather. Current Mayor Muriel Bowser strongly favors the policy, but candidates looking to replace her?
Do you support extending youth curfew zones?
Have struggled to say whether they would keep it. Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., argues cities like Washington created the problem through soft on crime laws and policies.
The D.C. Council that is responsible for the teen crime based upon the inept laws that they have passed. The problem is that they don't believe that these young people need to be treated as criminals. They are committing adult crimes.
I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
Yeah, because what they're doing. So why is this happening? That's the question you're gonna ask. What they're doing, you have to understand, is they're playing the long game. They know that these teens will eventually become voters. They know that one thing that will motivate people to go to a booth is their ability to get away with shit and not be held accountable. And even if these people don't become voters, they'll become messengers for the Democrat Party. Because even these ignorant, I remember I was one time in Kenya and somebody asked me a question about like voting Republican versus voting Democrat. My friend who doesn't even vote is like, I'm explaining to this person. I have a friend there who doesn't even vote. Bro don't participate in no politics. He's trying to argue me down about policies in front of this Kenyan guy who asked me the question. And that day I realized, I was like, oh, so the ignorant people may not show up to the voter booth, but what they will do is they will carry the message, right? They'll continue to spread this message of Democrat ignorance and degeneracy to anyone who's willing to listen. And so if there's someone who is going to vote, but they're not informed, they'll say, oh, well, this thug told me that this is a good idea. So if he thinks it's a good idea, I'll go for it. I'll vote for it. But they just understand that this is their voter base going forward. So why would they criminalize their voter base? If they criminalize the voter base might turn on them in the future or become apathetic when it comes to, the political theater of their city or state. That's what was going on in the 90s. The Democrats were doing good, but they would lose to Republicans because most of the people who they viewed as their voters just weren't showing up because they were like apathetic or indifferent to what was going on politically. But this is all about people will scream and cheer for no rules, no regulations. The criminals will do that. And they know that even if it's criminals who are cheering and hooping and hollering, black people, we live in a society where hardworking individuals actually look up to degenerate bums and criminals. You got the dude working on Wall Street who idolizes Nino Brown, the drug dealer off of New Jack City. So that's what's going on here. This is what we're dealing with. and then you're a politician, and you can't decide whether or not you want less crime in your city, or whether you want to hold people accountable who are committing crime in your city. That shouldn't even be a question that needs to be answered. Do you want to prevent crime in your city? Yes. What do I need to do to prevent crime in my city? Pass curfew, start arresting these teenagers. And the sad part is, the teenagers, most of them are not hopped up on drugs yet, so they're still in a position where if they lose their freedom for a weekend or a month, it will actually have an impact on their decision making. See, the teens want to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it, but if they sit in jail for a week or two, all their freedom is taken away. And so when they about to go out there and do the teen takeover and terrorize, they'll have to ask themselves, do I want to lose my freedom just to be able to go run in the street and act crazy during a teen takeover? And let's be real, guys. The answer is simple. Of course they don't. If they're in jail, they're not free to go do teen takeovers, right? And so that's what's called a deterrent. Something that deters them from doing something that they otherwise might be willing to do. But we don't believe in that. We've just totally stripped away. And then, you got Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. He's like, oh, don't let your kids participate in these takeovers. Bro, why do you think the parents have power over this? The Democrat Party or the government has totally stripped parents of their ability to discipline their children in the way they see fit. So you strip parents of their ability to discipline the children, but then you want to go to the parents and tell the parents to prevent their kids from going to the teen takeovers. Well, if I whoop his ass, you're going to take him and put him in the system. He going to run away from the system, be right back in the street doing teen takeovers. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. That's why I always say, fuck giving the police immunity. They need to give parents immunity. They need to give parents the ability to whoop their kids' ass without risk of a legal reprisal. Because until you empower parents to discipline their kids the way they see fit, you will have these situations continuing. They'll always happen. Everything's abuse. I remember when I was little, go get your ass in the corner. Go get a switch. Come over here so I can whoop your ass real quick. All that's abuse. Tell your kid to stand in the corner. Abuse. Sending your kid to bed without dinner. Abuse. Yelling at your kid. Get your damn ass off that. Abuse. Everything's abuse. So we basically built up a system that prevents parents from parenting. We built up a system that is anti-discipline. You cannot discipline your child in any way. I've heard people say that taking your kid's cell phone is a form of discipline. I mean, a form of abuse. So if you tell your kid to do something and your kid's like, nah, fuck that, dad, I ain't doing that. How do you make them do it? How do you make your kid do something that they don't want to do? This just shows you how ignorant people are. Soros is paying that Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson. Okay, cool. Because I was about to say, how you talk about Soros? I hate Soros. But yeah, of course he is. But I would ask Brandon Johnson, these are the questions that need to be asked. If your kid doesn't do what you tell them to do, how do you get them to do what you want them to do? That's the question we need to start asking social workers, politicians, whatever. If your kid doesn't do what you want them to do, what is an acceptable way of disciplining them? You can't. So you guys won't let me establish the law for my children, and then I send my children into a land of lawlessness. Hold on. Let me see this real quick. Okay, so I typed this in. Acceptable ways of disciplining children in the U.S. Y'all get y'all notepads out. So look, here we go. These acceptable and effective discipline in the U.S. focuses on positive reinforcement, setting clear boundaries and logical consequences rather than physical punishment. So physical is anything. Send them to their room, ground them, whoop them, send them to bed without dinner. That's out. Key methods includes praising good behavior. Okay. Using timeout for calming down. You're going to put a 15-year-old kid on timeout. What if you say, fuck you, mom and dad, I ain't staying in my room? Then what? So that doesn't work. Taking away privileges. Okay, fuck these privileges. I'm going to go outside anyway. What you going to do, lock me out? That's abuse. And rewarding positive actions to teach self-control and responsibility. Reading that, basically, you have no power. Positive reinforcement, praising good behavior immediately rather than only punishing misbehavior. Well, you can't punish misbehavior. So all you're doing is praising. Setting clear limits, establishing consistent rules so children understand. Children, if you establish a rule, the point of a rule being established is that if the rule is broken, they can enforce the rule. Natural logical consequences, allowing children to experience the direct result of their action. But there are no results. Look, if a child breaks a toy, they no longer have that toy to play with. Then that's abuse. My mommy won't buy me any toys. Oh, you're a horrible mother or father. Timeouts don't work. Stop with that stupid shit. Redirecting and distracting. See, do you guys understand? So temporarily take away your favorite activities, toys, or screen time. Listen, bro. Listen. Every form of discipline in the United States is geared towards toddlers. But what happens when the kid is like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? You ain't putting no 15-year-old kid on no fucking timeout. No, 100%. Old time, long ago. This, yes, be bluntly honest with your kids. Emphasize, you do the crime, you do the time. But here's the problem. What if they do the crime, but they don't do no time? What if they live in Chicago with Brandon Johnson? They do the crime, but they do no time. Could you imagine how hard it is being a parent when your kid you can't even use the threat of the police to get your kid to do what they want them to do. To do what you want them to do. They'll say, look, I went and did the takeover, robbed 5 people. Police caught me, let me out 15 minutes later. How do you tell your kid it's not right to rob? How do you tell your kid it's not right to steal? When the laws say, well, unless they steal $1,000, we're not criminalizing it. You got to struggle between the state or the government and the parent. Two conflicting messages. Let's be real. We got two conflicting messages. They want your kids to be fucked up. They want your kids to be fucked up. No one in here could tell me how you discipline your kid, 15 years old, if they say, fuck you, I ain't listening to you. No one can tell you. No one, absolutely no one can tell you what you can do. Here's the reality. Only way your kid listening to you is if they're a good kid. Maybe when they're young. I mean, my daughter, she's a good kid, but she didn't got her ass whooped before when she was young. Because I'll be damned, right? But mostly by her mom, but I didn't have to whoop her ass. My daughter didn't probably got her ass whooped enough times to count on one hand. Maybe 4 times, I think. 1 time by me, 3 or 4 times by her mom. Right? But technically, that's abuse. So technically, my kid should have been removed from me. Because even though I'm a parent and I whoop my kid out, and I'll whoop my kid's ass out of love so I could correct him, right? I'm an abusive person. I'm an abuser, and, I'm a monster and all this shit. I'm telling you. That's why you see so many people like, fuck this, I don't even want to have kids. Mexican people, they have a lot of kids. A lot of these kids be just running wild. Hopefully, you'll have one kid that's so fucked up, it'll scare the other kids from being fucked up. That's like your best bet. You have 5, plan on losing 1 or 2 to the streets, and hope that that's a deterrent from the other kids, for the other kids, so they don't go in the street. You got people, they pray that one of their kids die, so that when that kid die, it'll be a lesson to the other kids. I'm being real with you. They hope they kid die or go to jail, so it'll be a deterrent to the other kids trying to follow in his footsteps. It's sad. Oh yeah, CPS can spin anything, bro. Anything. I had a battle. Well, it wasn't even a battle. It was a flawless victory, because CPS, me and my wife had an argument, and CPS tried to tell me this years ago. They tried to tell me that arguing in front of your kid is a form of abuse. I said, we'll do this. Come, remove my, they talk about, so I said, are you trying to remove my kid? No, we want you to open a voluntary case. I said, okay, I'm going to have my lawyer call you, and when he explains to you how I'm going to sue you for millions, then you can explain to him how arguing in front of your kid is a form of abuse. And they were like, you know what, Mr. Tucker? There's no need to do anything. The social worker said you were a good guy. You know, your wife, An argument is a form of abuse. And it wasn't even an argument like that. It wasn't even an argument. No, nobody was even yelling. And it was the dumbest thing I had ever heard of in my life. But if they have stripped the teachers of power so much to where now the teachers live in fear of the students at school, what make you think they won't do that too? Bro, there are parents who are afraid of their children. And they're not afraid of their children because their children could physically beat them up and overpower them. They're afraid of their children because if their children attack them and they defend themselves, they go to jail. Let that sink in. So this idea that Brandon Johnson is throwing out there, parents, make sure your kids don't participate in blah, blah, please. Parents have no power. He's just saying that empty rhetoric, so it looks like he actually cares about it, and he's going to do something about it. I'm telling you, whoop your kid ass and have your lawyer on speed dial so that the deep CPS know that you're not playing with them. My kid out here in the street terrorizing. And you trying to tell me that if I whoop their ass, I'm abusing them. Nah, bro. He terrorizing because you wouldn't let me whoop his little ass when he was little so that he know that his daddy ain't fucking playing with him. And what's worse is you got these women, they're so complicit in it. You got these women that are so fucking complicit because they weaponize ignorant policies and laws in an attempt to take over control of the family unit or to turn your kids against you. I watched this one clip where it was like a boy, right? And his daddy was like, he's sitting down to eat. His daddy's like, before you get up to go eat, get your ass up. Before you sit down to eat, get your butt up and go take that trash out that I've been telling you to take out. His mama gonna say, you could wait until he finished eating. He said no. He need to get his ass up and go take that trash out like I've been telling his ass all day. She's like, well, his hands gonna get there. The dad is like, well, he can wash his hands, but he's taking his trash out. The boy just keep going and go take the trash out. The mama gets so irate with the dude. She like, well, you could get the fuck out and all this stuff. And he was like, see what you're doing? You trying to do too much. You trying to overparent. Why is that even a discussion? See, I'm old school. I wish you would tell me what I can and can't tell somebody to do in my fucking house. You will be outside with them, straight up. I don't play those games. I don't play silly games in my house. I really don't. Fucking come at me. I wish I would tell my daughter to do something and her mama jump up trying, man, if you don't shut your stupid ass up and go sit down somewhere, I'll be abusing everybody up in this motherfucker. because mothers are many times are enablers. My daughter, I went to Texas, right? I went to Houston. Our flight left early. It left at like 5 a.m, so we had to be at the airport at 3. This girl mama talking about, oh yeah, the Uber, it's gonna be like $115 to get to the airport. I said, $115 Uber? Fuck is you talking about? We got a nigga with a license right here. She's gonna drop us off at the airport, and then she's gonna freaking take her ass back home. Oh, no. I said, shut up. You in mommy mode, this daddy talking. Her cousin is gonna ride shotgun. She's gonna drop our asses off. And these two, 17 and damn 19, gonna get their ass back to the house the way they would if we wasn't nowhere to be found and they stumbled upon a car and was stranded downtown LA. Guess what? Dropped us off, made it back home, no problemo. But if you leave it up to mama, your kid will never be shit. That's why I could see why a lot of these young men who are raised by women, they just end up not being shit. Because mama always trying to coddle and enable. Daddy is the one who pushing their ass out the nest. Like, nah, you're going to have to know how to do this shit when I'm not around. Mama act like she always going to be there. I shut that whole shit down. Shut your ass up. I said it, it's going to happen. Well, let you sit your ass down somewhere and shut up while you at it. Oh, I'm going to take them on a dry run. To hell you are. After I done filled up the gas tank in both of these cars with these gas prices, hell no. We don't need no dry run. We will be in the car with them to the airport, and all we got to do is say, look, GPS or go around this loop, boom, 405, that take you back home, get off. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. See, but that's why you need a man in the house. You understand? That's why you need a man in the house. Yeah. She want to spend, $240 because the trip back would have been more than that going to LAX. But women don't think like that. They want to live high on the hog and rich and extravagant, but want to waste money on every little stupid thing. That's why, like when you hear women, oh, I could do it by myself. They're not happy. These nurses and shit. Who's happy working 80 hours a freaking week? But they'll do it. They only do it to spite you. How many women do you know that once they lead a man, then they want to go back to school and get a bachelor's and do all this and a master's and all that? Like, why wasn't you doing that when you was with the dude so you could make y'all life better too? Both of y'all life better. When they with the man, I don't want to work. They lead a man, they ready to work 85, 90 hours. Oh, man, I got friends who nurses, right? Man, I know a girl who was a nurse. She from Pittsburgh. She left her husband talking about he was abusive and controlling, right? Because he wouldn't let her spend up all their damn money on bullshit, right? She comes to California. She's like 40-something, in her late 40s. She's screwing YNs. She get one YN. She letting this fool drop her off at work. She working 16-hour shifts. She letting this one YN that she's screwing drop her off at work. She working at Kaiser, mind you. She's letting this YN drop her off at work. And he's taking her car for 16 hours while she at work, right? One day, her and the YN get in an argument. She still let the dude drop her off at work, take her car. She get off work. He don't come pick her up. Bro, this lady spent 2 weeks trying to find this dude with her car, right? The friend who's telling me this story, she's like, well, why don't you just call the car and report it stolen? She said, girl, you know these young dudes, if I call him and report the car stolen, he'll probably come up to the job tripping and get me fired and make me lose my license. So my homegirl was like, so what you gonna do? He want me to switch the car up in his name. I'm going to just let him keep that car, and I'm going to get me another car. She gave that fool that car and got her another car. And I promise you, I would bet my life on it, she's probably still screwing this dude. These women be out of line, bro. These women be so good. And if you think it's just the black women, I know a white woman. I ain't gonna say no names. She, a friend of mine, he found him a white woman. He's white as well. He done found him a white. He's just an old loser. He like in his 60s, bro. Never had a career, nothing like that. Just, you know, I'm not gonna tell you what he does, but it ain't illegal. But it's just some bum type shit. He was driving Uber at 60, no job, no nothing, living in a bullshit apartment where the rent was cheap because it was a friend's apartment. He finds this white woman in Orange County, gets with her. This is his quote unquote girlfriend. He ends up getting kicked out of the condo he was living in. That was his friend's parents' condo because his friend was coming back from out of state and was going to move into there. This white lady bought this dude a condo and then went and bought them both matching cars. Like, new car, bought bro a condo. I'm like, bro, does she even got a key? He was like, hell no. Now, he's a 6-year-old white dude. Then found him a sugar mama. What I'm telling y'all, I'm saying that to say this. These women, they're going to get manipulated by somebody. They're going to be cashing out and throwing everything they got at somebody. It might as well be you. You're just a sucker believing the shit that's coming out of their mouth. While other dudes is not going off of that. They're going off of actions in knowledge, right? And they're getting everything. When you get a woman, you lock her ass in and program her to build with you. And that's the only thing you should accept. And if she gives you resistance, get rid of her ass. Because trust me, she is ready and willing to give her all, every ounce of her being to someone else in pursuit of whatever they believe is the necessary goal to reach. If she giving you resistance, she ain't fucking with you like that. I look at these dudes and be like, bro, why are you accepting that from that woman? It's clear she don't want to be with you. Nah, but no, bro. No, bro. That same girl you over here arguing with, about to be on her, will drop to her knees like James Brown for another dude and do whatever he tell her to do without no questions asked. But she's challenging you, arguing you down. And if there's women in here, they'll tell you that's the truth. That's the thing about it. They will tell you that's the truth. I got a family member who was homeless for 3 years, right? This was years back. She was homeless for 3 years. My grandma talking about, oh, she can't find a place, all this shit. I looked at this heifer, bullshit. She's lazy. So she had a deadbeat boyfriend who was her baby daddy too. This fool was in prison. Bro called this, I heard it. He said, bitch, I get out in 2 months and I got to have somewhere to, his words, not me. He said, bitch, I get out in 2 months and I need somewhere to parole to. And I can't parole back to my mama's house because my brother there and he's on parole. I'll tell you, this girl had an apartment within 30 days. 3 years of couch surfing. 3 years of my granny and these other women in my family making excuses for her. When that nigga called her the B word and told her she better have somewhere for him to parole to when he get out of jail, she locked in. 30 days, had an apartment. When he got out, her ass was working, paying that rent every month while he sat at home drinking beer and shit. They gonna lock in for somebody, bro. If they not willing to lock in for you, then you ain't that somebody. And there is someone out there that's willing to lock in for you, and you need to go find them. Straight up. But if you sitting up being silly, trying to like rationalize disrespect and laziness and all that, bro, you goofy. You goofy. Don't no woman want no man that she can boss around and control and manipulate. Because they look at it like if they can manipulate you, the next chick can manipulate you right up out of the relationship. But dudes don't know. I'm giving too much game. I'm giving too much game. Let me stop. I'm teaching y'all way too much. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be suckers? Mo for me. Mo for me. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for me in this channel. Hold on. So until the next time, I want you to take care of yourselves, but most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.